Well, Baba, I've been walking in the winter wonderland.
In the meadow we can build a snowman.
Snowman? Pretend him okay, Alice Parson Brown.
He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man.
Pero usted puede hacer el trabajo cuando usted está en pueblo. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And
Live from New York and Panama, it's Saturday night.
Hello and welcome to the Not Ready for Primetime Project. We're Gary Seath and Brad Robinson.
And you're not.
This week on the early years of SNL, we're talking about Season 5, Episode 8, with host Ted Knight and musical guest Desmond Child and Rouge. This show originally aired on December 22nd, 1979. Brad, this is your last show in the 70s.
Oh, God. I got to live it up.
I know. You've never seen a person more depressed to have to stop talking about
I'm so
a
sad.
decade
I'm so sad.
ended 40
I'm so
years
sad
ago.
to move into the 80s. God damn it. This whole project was really for just 4.5 years. I'm done. I'm clocking out after this episode.
That'll make it a lot easier when I check out. Well,
It's all you, buddy.
yeah. Luckily, we have someone who can step in for both of us, and the show will not miss a beat. So,
And then some,
yeah. Welcome back, the host of Ian Talks Comedy, our friend, and the man wearing the "How Great Is Jane" t-shirt, Ian from Egglitch.
Mhm.
Ian, welcome back.
Thank you. I know it's a podcast, but I decided to show the shirt anyway. But thank you very much for having me
Thanks
back.
for coming back.
We should say Ian is the impetus for our season 2 swag. Ian is the reason we created a How Great Is Jane t-shirt. And now he's got one.
Yeah. Our season 2 swag, you say that as if there are hundreds of people out there walking around with "How Great Is Jane" t-shirts.
You know what, Gary? How about this? You're out there listening. Anybody out
Yeah.
there wants a How Great Is Jane t-shirt, shoot us an email. Gary, what's the email?
nr4ptproject@gmail.com.
Shoot us an email on why you think you should have a How Great Is Jane t-shirt. We'll send you one. Don't worry, Gary. I'm unemployed. I'll fit the bill. Prerequisite, you must rate and review. So as long as you rate and review the show, send an email and, we'll give you a t-shirt. There you
With
go.
your
Or you'll be in line
shirt
for a
size.
t-shirt.
Yeah, you'll be in line.
You'll be in line for a t-shirt. It's gonna be like Pope. It's gonna be like Pope and the pizza. Well, we only have the budget for one t-shirt, so here's everybody's names, and we'll pick one at random.
That's fine.
But in all seriousness, I mean, that's serious. I am serious about that. Send your emails in. But Ian, we have to start out by saying thank you. You have been one of our longest, one of the first people to support the show.
Yes.
So thank you so much from the very beginning. You've been a fan and always been very supportive of us, and
Yes.
we hugely appreciate it. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you guys for making my Tuesdays driving in or driving home bearable. So
Good.
it's all because of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And as we asked everybody this season, we let you pick the episode you wanted to do. Why'd you pick Ted Knight?
I picked Ted Knight because I'm a big fan of Ted Knight, and I think this is a really good episode. It's got a couple of classic bits. I'm not going to ruin them for you, and also it's a kind of it's a total Lorne thing that the two big movies prop to be the summer of 1980 were Caddyshack and the Blues Brothers, and in the last 10, 12 episodes of the show, he gets three people from Caddyshack on, and except for a cameo, nobody from the Blues Brothers. So
Yeah.
that's got that little history of who he was rooting for.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today. It's very interesting. Like you say, it is early, and no one knows that Caddyshack is going to become what Caddyshack becomes. But yeah, like you said, there's three of the stars of Caddyshack will host the show from this point forward.
And the photography stopped in November, and that's when Brian Dolan Murray came back to the writers.
Yeah, about a month ago, or a month before this episode. Yeah.
Right. So I'm just a big fan of Ted Knight.
I mean, how can you not be?
I know.
When did it start for you, Ian?
Oh, well, Too Close for Comfort. I think because we're about the same age. We weren't old enough for the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
No.
No, but I'll tell you where I first became a fan of Ted Knight was as the
it
narrator on the Super Friends show and the Batman show and the Superman show. Oh, it was great. He was so good as the narrator.
Impression number 1.
Meanwhile, that's the best part. And then he would say, like,
Pretty good.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I've been working on that for 35 years.
Do you know what I just realized the other day? I had no idea Too Close for Comfort came out a year from now in 1980.
I had the
always-
same exact revelation. Yes.
Yeah. I saw something recently on social media. It was like a TV guide ad or something, and it was like tonight's lineup, and it was like Laverne and Shirley, Joni and Chachi or something, and Too Close for Comfort. I was like, what the hell? And then I looked it up, 1980.
You thought it was later?
Yeah, I thought it was way late because I remember watching it. So I assumed it was like a mid 80, like 85 to 90 or something like that. That's what I thought it was.
That's exactly what I thought, Brad. And then I found out that Ted Knight dies in 1986. Spoiler.
Well, there's that. Sure. Yeah. That doesn't help.
And that's when I was like, but wait a minute. How did he die in 1986 if they were doing Too Close for Comfort in the late 80s? I'm confused.
This is the thing. The show was canceled in 1983, but first run syndication started in 1980, late 84, 85. So they jammed him in to shoot like 60 episodes that went on like a year past his death.
Right.
Because that show was six seasons, which I also didn't think. I thought Too Close for Comfort was like mid to late 80s, like 3 seasons. Yeah. That was it. But yeah.
And I always thought it was just syndicated. I didn't realize it had like a network run at any point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look at everything we've learned about Too Close for Comfort. I can't wait to start
Speaking
our
of learning about
Too
Too Close for Comfort
podcast.
Let's get down to it. Ian, when are you getting Jim Bullock on your show?
Jim J. Bullock or Jim Bullock, the hockey player?
He's one and the same.
I'm extremely desperate.
What?
Oh.
No.
I'm joking.
Ian.
No, I'm joking. I love Jim J. Bullock, but I don't want to be... Nah, I love Jim J. Bullock. I mean, he was on Seinfeld. He did the Hollywood Squares.
What was the cartoon he did? Super Duck, where the hell that was? He did the voice of some like cartoon for like some duck superheroes. Trust me.
Okay, if I'm wrong about this, please bleep me. But I think, is it Queer Duck?
Okay, we're gonna have to bleep you for that. Ian, Gary's woke. You can't say that.
That is a cartoon. That was a cartoon.
It might have been.
Oh.
Hold on, he's looking up.
I am.
Look it up, Gary.
I am.
I'm telling you, it was something. It might be Queer Duck now that you say it.
Yes.
That was the name, Queer Duck?
Queer Duck.
Okay.
Ran from 2000 to 2002, 20 episodes. There's also Queer Duck the movie, which was direct to video.
Can we bring it back to the 70s, please? 1979.
I know.
Please,
Brad is like
episode,
grasping
that's all I got.
with his nails to the cliff that is the 1970s, Ian. He will not let go, but for the purposes of the podcast, he'll have to.
At this point, Ted Knight, Mary Tyler Moore Show finished, a couple years ago. What a run, too, right? 2-time Emmy winner, this guy. I think he was nominated almost every season that show was on the air.
Yeah.
So good.
Then he had a sitcom the year after called The Ted Knight Show, where he was he ran an escort service, but it was a non-sex escort service.
It's so very brief, right? It was like,
10 episodes.
Yeah.
10 episodes. And then he got sick and he died in 86, but he lived like a probiotic lifestyle, which on the set of Caddyshack was way different than the rest of those people.
Yeah.
He went home, he drank a lot of orange juice and stuff. It was very healthy.
Well, I don't think his cancer diagnosis was public knowledge, right? Like I think he kind of kept that to himself. So I don't think people knew that when he was working and all that he was sick all those years.
Right. I just think he just lived clean. I just think he lived clean because of that.
Yeah.
But he had a career, before this, not like a main attraction career, but he was around for, since the 50s. He was around doing bit parts on TV shows and movies and stuff.
After the war, much like B. Arthur, a decorated war veteran, comes home, discovers his true calling.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then not only is he stellar in the 70s, is the star of a 1980s sitcom. They're like one and the same, 2 peas in a pod, these two.
A 70s sitcom and an 80s sitcom. You're right. B.
Arthur and Ted Knight. Yeah, one and the same. Veterans. Yeah,
sure.
Did you know that Ted Knight was actually booked for the February 14th, 1976 episode that went to Peter Boyle?
No.
Yeah.
Tell us
Yeah,
more.
I mean,
I
that would
don't
make
know why,
sense.
No, I just used to collect TV guides when I was a real cool guy, and it said Saturday Night Live, and I looked and it said host Ted Knight, musical guest. That was Al Jarreau, I think. I think
He
when he
wouldn't
met
have.
the Shapiro sisters, he walked off. But
I mean, that would make sense. That's prime Mary Tyler Moore at that point. Yeah, that makes sense. My last did you know before we get to it? Do you know Ted Knight is in Psycho?
Yes.
I always, every time I see Psycho, I'm always like, holy, that's Ted Knight.
Yeah. He's the prison guard, right? Is that what he is?
Yeah, at the very end when he's in the cell, he closes the door and it's like a close up of Ted Knight. It is blatantly Ted Knight at the end there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I found this episode to be a lot of fun because of Ted Knight, and I felt that he was willing to do whatever, and he did it with a lot of joy, and it brought a lot of comedy to everything he was in. So, should we just get into it?
Sure, let's end the 70s.
This is a sad, sad night for Brad.
Sad day.
Yeah.
Sad day.
Well, the cold open starts with a Christmas gift from the Shah and his friends. So this is Bill playing the Shah, and he is down in Panama, I believe, right? Yep. He and his friends are live in Panama. Lorraine is there as his wife. And then it just becomes like a cavalcade of stars.
Yeah.
Gilda's there as Baba Wawa, and Garrett is Anwar Sadat, and they're singing under the tree or near the tree or whatever. And Al Franken comes in as Henry Kissinger, and it turns into, it's like those old 60s, 70s Christmas specials where just people drop by and, you know.
Yeah. Well, it feels like a precursor then to the sketches we'd see so many times over the years of here's a celebrity party.
Right.
And you have a cavalcade of impressions that just parade through at this party and then leave. Yeah, this is the first time we've seen it on the show.
And I think Al Franken's Kissinger is more. It is not as funny as Belushi's, but it's more on the ball. It's a more accurate.
It's not
impression.
bad. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. He'll tap this well a few more times over the years.
Yes, he will. But it was it was a fun open to the show, I thought. It wasn't hilarious or anything, but I kind of enjoyed, like you're saying, Brad, the first of its kind that we really see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good cold open. Admittedly, I don't think I appreciated the timeliness of it, with the Shah and everything going on. I think it probably played much better at the time. But that said, I think the character work was funny. Like I said, you see a lot of people do a lot of different characters. I think everyone's pretty good. And they do a really good job bringing it in, kind of, getting an ending and bringing it together for the Live from New York. So as a cold open, I kind of dug it.
I agree. I really love the Chiclets and Demerol pinata that they make for the and Paul Schaefer as international financier Robert Vesco.
Paul Schaefer, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tried and trues. We get our first Baba Wawa of the season. I don't think we've seen her since Ian's last time on the podcast, since the Pepsi syndrome.
That's the real reason that Ian chose this show. He wanted to bookend Baba Wawa.
Right, and I was also there for Mardi Gras where she was there, I think. Yeah.
That's right.
See?
Well, it was a decent start to the show. Like I said, I don't think it was hilarious, but it was a fun way to start the show. Christmas show, get right into it with the holidays.
A quick question. Tom Davis. Did anybody else have difficulty realizing that was Tom Davis when he came out?
I did when he first walked out, but then as soon as he opened his mouth, I realized it was Tom Davis.
So I want to ask you why. Was it A, because he was wearing glasses, or B, that he was in brown face?
B.
Okay, just one checking.
I was going to say his hair, but okay. His hair looks
Sure.
different.
That too. Let's go with, it was the wig and makeup.
Sure.
Then we get our opening credits. We see Ted Knight as Santa Claus in the opening card for him, which was fun. This week's featured players, because this is a thing, Ian, where we get different featured players every week. We have Tom Davis, Al Franken, Paul Schaefer, and Harry Shearer. And our special guest is Andy Kaufman.
Yes, sir.
Then it's time for the monologue, and Ted Knight comes out to a huge ovation. That crowd was very excited to see Ted Knight.
As they should be.
Absolutely. He comes out in a white suit with a white vest, all cream colored, and he just lays right into a Steve Martin impression.
He basically does a Steve Martin act. Yeah.
He does.
I mean, he looks a lot like him.
Well, yeah. It's kind of funny. I mean, he goes into this, does the whole thing, and then he says, Steve, there's something you should know. I'm your dad. After doing a bunch of
Which is
Steve
great.
I thought it was hilarious.
So he's not just doing a Steve Martin impression. There's a reason behind it. He's
Right.
like, that's right, Steve. I'm your father.
Yeah.
Like it makes it work really well.
It really
I agree.
does. Yeah. I thought it was a lot of fun. And then he ends on Happy Feet, which I think he did a really nice job with.
Yeah. He grabs the microphone and does the shock gag that Steve did when he hosted before. And it's, like you said, for a guy who's not known for being like a laugh out loud funny guy, it's a really good monologue. This is a really great bit he does, poking fun at one of the funniest, if not the funniest guy on the planet at the time.
Yeah.
Really good idea what they did.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Do you know who else is a lot of fun? Gary Coleman.
Yeah. So
Oh, God.
we get our first runner of the season, I think, right, Brad?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It has been a good while, yeah.
So this starts with an ad for a new show where each week a different family adopts Gary Coleman, and this is called Different Storks instead of the Different Strokes.
I think that's John Chancellor from NBC News in the picture.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, I think that's who that is.
That's pretty funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
we see these. So these are like, they're unprompted, but we see them throughout the night where it's just dropping Gary Coleman into different NBC shows or fake NBC shows.
Well, this was at the time where he was on everything. NBC just had a special called Lucy Joins NBC, and Gary Coleman was one of the big people in that special welcoming her.
Well, they kind of started this joke last season with the Fred Silverman and NBC doing so bad, and all they really had was Different Strokes, so the Gary Coleman of it all. So it was funny to see him bring it back again, and it's, it's a quick NBC joke, which I thought was pretty funny.
I liked the play on it too. Different storks, different strokes. Well, from there we go to a typical office building, and we see that we're in the Chud Insurance Company. And we're with the grievance board, and the grievance board consists of Bill, Garrett, Harry Shearer, and Gilda. And they are there to talk about a sexual harassment case between Jane, plays Amy someone, and Ted Knight. And
You don't even know her last name. Wow.
Hoban.
Wow.
Hoban. There it is. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
And this is, Brad, I should just hand it over to you because this is like ripe for 70s sexual humor. Which
Gary,
you love.
Let me just get an
because
this is my last time. I can do it. Last time I can do it. 1979, baby.
Yeah, exactly. That was my second note that I wrote down.
That's what this sketch is all about.
Yeah. My note was 1979. Just turn it over to Brad. He enjoys this.
Did I? I don't know. It's a weird sketch to start the episode.
Yeah.
And I think because it's just such a long ramp up to the actual sketch.
Yes.
It opens up with like this banter between Bill and Harry Shearer, and they all sit at the desk and talk, and there's some conversation with Gilda about how she just became vice president, and she's obviously unqualified.
She reads the minutes from the last meeting is what she's doing.
I mean, Bill's very good. He's very good in this. He's got a lot of Bill asides and his like mannerisms. Like it's very good, Bill Murray. But they finally get to the actual point of the sketch, which is Jane coming in for this, I guess not hearing, but whatever meeting about the sexual harassment claim. That's grievance hearing. Okay. And we hear her side. I did find it funny that they brought her in by herself to hear her side.
Yeah.
And then she stayed there while they brought Ted Knight in to hear the man's side. But it's a very long run to get to the payoff, which is they all acknowledge her grievances and admit they have to do something. This is very bad. And Ted Knight like walks away and just, I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry. And she leaves the room. Oh, Gilda. Bill Murray's like, Gilda, can you take her out to go fill the forms?
Right.
the two ladies leave, and then here is the one joke of the sketch is all the men are laughing at, that was a close one. Oh my God, we almost got busted. Can you believe it? And like, okay.
I liked when Ted Knight had Jane turn the heat up all the way so she would get all sweaty, and then Harry Shearer says, that does go against the president's energy guidelines.
Yes.
That was a good line.
I thought Harry Shearer was funny in this too. Like he had a few lines like that.
I'll say the performances are all good.
Especially Garrett, who
Ted
did
Knight's good.
literally nothing except sit there and smoke a cigarette. They did not give Garrett one line after they sat down.
Ted Knight, of course, was good. And Jane. I mean, hey, how great is Jane?
She does give a good
Very
speech
good.
in that. She does.
But yeah, there's just not much there as a sketch, unfortunately. It was just and one note and took a little long to get to that note.
Yeah. It did not take a long time to get to the note in the next sketch. So this is just Ted Knight to camera. He's dressed as a cop and he has a stern message for you around Christmas time.
During this holiday season, your local police department would like to remind you to watch your handbag. Watch your wallet. Keep an eye on your packages. Be sure to watch your step. Watch your mouth. And keep moving. Don't be standing around. Just mind your own business. Don't go looking for trouble. Stay out of the way. Don't touch anything. Don't move anything. Break it up. Move along. No loitering. Get going or I'll run you in. And better watch out. Merry Christmas. I'm telling you once.
A Christmas message from the local police.
I enjoyed it. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, police PSA. I agree. I liked it. Like very short. Like it felt, very season one, like a short solo to camera.
Yeah.
Ted Knight's very good in the role
Yes.
as a cop, and it's just a great play on words about things you should do and shouldn't do, and mind your manners and all that kind of stuff. I think it's worked really well.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that sketch, but I can see why you like it. I mean, his name is Bob Cop.
Yeah. Bob Cop with a Christmas message.
Right.
I enjoyed it. I also liked his accent that he put on it too. It was just fun.
It's a fun change of pace. We don't get a lot of, solo to cameras, stuff like that anymore. So it was fun to see. I liked what it was more than the actual, substance of the sketch. Seeing that solo to camera again, I missed that. It was fun to see.
And you don't see a lot of those from hosts
Right.
just throughout the run of the show.
Very good
And
point.
you're doing
And that was, I thought it was,
a 50s New York cop is, I think, what he's going for.
yeah.
Yeah. Like a beat cop.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And because he was busy dressed as a cop, he couldn't introduce Desmond Child and Rouge. So Gilda does. Gilda comes out and introduces them as they launch into their song. And I didn't know the name of the song at first, but I was listening to it and I just wrote down Tumble in the Night. I'm guessing this is what this is called. And I was right. That's what it was called. Because that's all they said for the first 2 or 3 minutes, I guess. I don't know.
Right. It makes sense for Gilda to introduce. We talked about this Gilda Live.
Right.
They were the band that backed her up on Gilda Live. So it makes sense, A, that they're the musical guest on an episode of the show. Probably since they ended that Gilda Live run they were supposed to do, touring. So Lauren probably owed them a few bucks. He's, come on the show. We'll put you on the show.
Yeah. So I
but
don't.
it was nice
I
to see her
won't
do
pay
the
you.
intro.
I can only pay you scale if you come on the show.
Well, they're not the Beatles. You can't give them $3,000. Like the song, I actually liked the song. I thought it was, for what it was, for late 1970s power pop, I guess it's called. It's not a bad song, but it just, when you look up Desmond Child, it's just amazing the career he had after this.
Oh, yeah.
So
Tell me more, because I looked up zero about Desmond Child after listening to this song.
Oh, really? I looked it up during the second numbers when I did my Desmond Child research.
Yeah,
And I looked up a bunch of shit.
some of the things he's written, Dude Looks Like a Lady. Yeah, for Aerosmith, as well as Crying and the other song that sounds just like it. Amazing.
He did Crazy. Gary,
Crazy.
Gary, he did What It Takes and Fine.
Wow.
Yeah. Angel, Hole in My Soul, a lot of Aerosmith stuff.
Yeah.
You Give Love a Bad Name, Living on the Edge, Like a Prayer, I Hate Myself for Loving You, Living La Vida Loca, Cup of Life, She Bangs, Waking Up in Vegas for Katy Perry. And his most recent song was that disaster, Jojo Siwa, Karma. You know that song?
No,
Karma's a
sadly.
bit-
And
Was it in
No,
1979?
2024.
I was gonna say, to the surprise of all of the listeners of the show, Brad is not familiar with any songs that came out in 2024.
No.
Well,
No. Listen to my Sabrina Carpenter commentary. You'll be well aware. Gary, he also wrote a tune for Chicago, the sad 80s version of Chicago.
I would expect nothing more than the sad version of Chicago.
No.
and Cher, too.
Yeah.
A lot with Cher.
This guy did write tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's a prolific songwriter.
I mean, you can see why after this performance, why he moved into songwriting.
Was it the purple
Because
jumpsuit?
he could use a bit more stage presence, no?
A bit.
Just a bit. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But to Ian's point, this is very late 70s. I agree, Ian. Like whatever you want to call it, like power pop, whatever. This is very late 70s right here, this song.
And there's only 9 more days to go in the 70s, so they had nowhere to go with the song.
Should have got Chicago back. Anyway.
Well, coming up, spot number 2 on our runner, Gary Coleman, guest host of The Tonight Show.
Another Gary Coleman joke. Love it.
And then we roll into Weekend Update, it's early in the show for Weekend Update. But 2 Gary Coleman runners, which are, 15 seconds apiece, and the Bob Cop bit, which was it's in and of itself less than a minute. So it's early in the night, but we're going to Weekend Update. We get some Ted Kennedy jokes not related to Chappaquiddick, so that was good. That was fun. Get a Fred Silverman joke in there, and then they get.
I like that one.
A bunch of
they're talking about gold, people like worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, people whose
and the
name
joke
ends
itself
in
is
gold.
pretty
Yeah.
funny. They mention people's names, weight in gold, and then they add the tag on it. Trying to get in touch with Fred Silverman, could not be reached for comment.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny. It was a good topper to that joke.
I liked the fake $5 bills that were.
Of course you did.
Alan Zweibel's picture on them. That was fun.
There's Weibel joke on Weekend Update. 2 in a row, they're just busting his balls.
Those are all written by Matt Newman.
Oh,
According
really?
to friend of the pod, Alan Zweibel, anything that had Glickman in it or a picture of Alan Zweibel, they were all Matt Newman jokes.
That's great.
That's pretty funny.
The Glickman poll. Well, yeah, this is the first time we haven't seen a Glickman poll in a while,
We
too.
haven't
That's
seen
right.
a Glickman poll. That's right. Then we hear from consumer advocate Rosanna Dana, who's supposed to talk about something, but just launches into ripping on Gene Shalit.
I remember last Christmas time, I was sitting in the restaurant right near, it's next to the Rockefeller Center skating rink, eating a spinach, bacon, and mushroom salad that was real good. And I could see the Christmas tree and everyone skating around when all of a sudden, this big black French poodle skates by. A big poodle wearing a scarf. I couldn't believe it. This dog is skating around and around, doing these fancy dips and figurettes. But when I looked real close, I said to myself, Rosanna Dana, that hairy thing ain't no dog. That's Gene Shalit. That poodle dog works with me here at NBC. And he's skating around proud as a shaggy peacock. And he must have been real cold, because all that bushy hair on his head and his cute wavy mustache was frozen stiff and hard from all the snow and moisture outside. Between you and me, Rosanna Dana, Shalit's face looked like a big black toilet brush.
It's actually one of my favorite Rosanna Danas. One of.
It's not bad. I agree. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good Rosanna. The Gene Shalit thing is just very funny, and the way she goes about it with him frozen and the dog, it works. It's better than most. I agree.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And that's it. It was a short Weekend Update. So it was early in the night.
Yes.
And a
At
very
least
short.
it felt short, but yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I will say, I feel the jokes seem to go over better with the audience than usual. They hit more. I think they had a better batting average this Weekend Update.
Yeah. I think the jokes were also tighter. Like I think they were good jokes. Like they weren't, there was no rambling in the jokes or anything. Gilda's back in our next sketch. This is usually not usually, but the last couple of weeks, this has been our slot for our big long sketch, Brad.
They have moved it here. That's true.
After Weekend Update. So this week it's a Christmas pageant at Gus Grissom High School, and we're watching the dress rehearsal. We find out, and then it's the nerds. So Ted Knight is there as their teacher or whatever. Mr. Dunwoody. And I think everyone is in this sketch. Like this, there are a lot of people in this. Some people
there's a
who
lot
we
of comings and goings.
never see. So Todd plays Joseph and Lisa plays Mary, and she comes in riding a donkey played by Alan Zweibel.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then we get, Paul Schaefer's back as Artie with the drum.
Yeah,
and
it's a long ass sketch.
It is a long ass sketch. Unlike the others, it's only one set, so we're just on the stage watching Ted Knight get very frustrated with these kids who are just dumb high school kids. And Bill, Todd is kind of has a smart mouth, as they say, with his teacher. Ian, as a teacher, you can relate to this, right?
I would kill for them to be as lame as Bill Murray's character. I mean, him saying that Gilda was the only one in the school physically correct to play the Virgin Mary.
Yeah, there's a bunch going on in this sketch. I don't know how funny it is either, which is the sad thing. But I did like, there was the part, there's a line in there where he's like, if I hear one more peep, Bill goes peep, and I did laugh out loud when he says peep. Only to be outdone after he does that, after Bill says peep, and then Ted Knight walks over angrily towards Bill Murray, and Paul Schaefer starts playing the drums as he walks over.
Yeah, that was funny.
But there's some things like, Jane comes in and out as Mrs. Loopner. Unfortunately, it was funny. She does the joke because Nils couldn't put the cowl head on properly, so she puts the cowl head on and shows him how. Like, there's little tidbits of funniness. Garrett's back as Grant Robinson Jr. as one of the. I was like, okay, that works. But yeah, Jesus, this is a long sketch.
And the audience's favorite line is when he's consoling Gilda as the Virgin Mary, and he goes, "There, Mare," because that's a Mary Tyler Moore show. That's what they would call Mary Mare.
Right.
And then the audience did laugh at that.
You know what's weird about this sketch proper? Did you notice at the end of the sketch they pull out? They threw this sketch in the corner. Like, you would think nerds, this has got to be like their tentpole sketch of the episode. You wouldn't put it like, on home base. Do you notice when they pulled out, it's like in that corner dead zone spot of 8H?
Well, they just had Weekend Update. They couldn't put it at home base.
Oh, I guess, yeah. That's you're right for that, but just felt weird they shoved it in that corner spot.
Well, it's also a pretty big set that is just going to get in the way of everything all night with hay. And it was a bummer for me the way that this played out with the nerds, because you didn't really get the interaction between Todd and Lisa.
It doesn't feel like a nerd sketch, right?
Right. Yeah.
And Ann Beats talked about this in the past, where I think it was after read through, Lauren asked her for a nerd sketch because either whether the show was short or he didn't like the material, but he asked her to write a nerd sketch of them doing a Christmas pageant. And I think that's why this doesn't feel like a nerd. Because you don't get any, like you said, Gary, you get none of that Todd and Lisa back and forth interplay that you like so much. And we've talked about watching all these nerd sketches. There has been an arc with them, kind of a storyline. You've watched them grow. And this is just, it's none of that. It's here's a kid's high. This almost would have been better without the nerds in it. Because when you see Todd and Lisa, you have these preconceived notions of what you want a nerd sketch to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And this isn't it. This might have been better with just Ted Knight as a principal. He's great in this role. This is a great Ted Knight role.
Yep.
But just have it be a bunch of dumb kids being in a boring play they don't want to be in. And I think it might have played better because you don't bring all that nerds baggage with you.
Yeah, the expectations of what it could be. And yeah.
And, of course, the censor problems around that sketch, where they weren't allowed to give her noogies. They didn't want her to get noogies because she was the Virgin Mary.
And I think in the history of looking back, I think this is a sketch that is remembered more for that, like for the backstage controversy and the stories behind it. It's one of like almost one of the famous early era SNL stories is you can't give the Virgin Mary noogies. And so you remember the story about that more than the sketch. And then you watch the sketch and you're like, not so much.
That there's also when Ellen Zweibel is playing the donkey, the line Lorraine Newman is like, "Hey, get your donkey out of there," because
Yeah.
what they were originally they weren't going to be allowed to say the ass, which they've said on the show.
Well, and I'm pretty sure they were. You mentioned the censors; they were fighting the censors
During the show.
through the start of the show. Yeah. So there was like moments, literally minutes before this show went to air, they were changing dialogue, changing the script. So they were changing cue cards, probably that the actors had never seen before they started saying them. And that's probably one of the instances where they just, had to cut stuff between, the religiousness of it all and ass and whatever else. There's that we were talking before earlier, Ian, that the Bill Clotworthy book, which is like, I don't know, not a fan of just because it's written poorly. It's hard, but he writes about this sketch and talks about it. But this is kind of one of the most infamous original era censor battles is, like you said, you can't Virgin Mary noogies on TV.
And I think this is one of his first episodes because he was there from 79 to 90. So I think it's was one of his first episodes as well.
Yeah, I know he was there for First He Cries, so he's been there for a couple weeks because he also writes about First He Cries, so I know he was at least there by then by B. Arthur.
Well, that was a long sketch that, could have been something better than I think it was. It sounds like we're in agreement. Ted Knight comes out again after the commercial break. I thought he was going to introduce Desmond Child and Rouge for some reason. But he couldn't be bothered with that because he has to introduce or wants to introduce the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. So if anyone doesn't know the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers,
no, I could tell you one person who doesn't, me, because when he said Nature Boy, I thought he was going to say Ric Flair.
But you don't know. So Brad, you like, but for as much wrestling as you don't know Buddy Rogers. Nope. Oh, okay.
Nope, I do not. I legitimately, I know it's completely implausible, but the words Nature Boy came out of his mouth. And I was waiting to hear Ric Flair.
Well, Ric Flair was around at this time, but he wasn't Ric Flair. So I'm just going to go on with Nature Boy.
Yes,
Buddy
please
Rogers.
do. Please do. Please do.
So the Nature Boy Ric Flair exists because of Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Like that was.
Oh, really?
Buddy Rogers was one of the biggest draws in professional wrestling in the 60s and early 70s. And one of the reasons that Vince McMahon Sr. created at the time WWF was because the NWA, the Wrestling Association, took the belt away from Nature Boy Buddy Rogers and gave it to some other guy that Vince McMahon didn't think would be big enough draw. So he made Nature Boy Buddy Rogers the champion, or continued to be the champion in his territory, and he kind of broke away, and that started the whole kind of feud between different wrestling territories. But Nature Boy Buddy Rogers was such a big draw in wrestling. And then he would go on to wrestle like Bruno Sammartino and all those guys. But yeah, he was the one that Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, Gino.
Did you read that Gorilla Monsoon book I sent you?
I have skimmed much of it, but I have not read.
How great is it?
It's like 600 pages on Gorilla Monsoon.
It's amazing,
That's
right?
a lot.
I never knew I needed a Gorilla Monsoon biography, but I'm so glad I have one.
Yes.
You know what's amazing about your Buddy Rogers story?
What's that?
That as long as that was, it was shorter than his intro to Andy Kaufman.
Well, so he comes out. So yes, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers comes out, and he just is there. And so for me, it was like, oh, Andy Kaufman clearly grew up idolizing Nature Boy Buddy Rogers and wanted to add legitimacy to his wrestling career as it was. And so he brings out.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Was Buddy Rogers a heel or a babyface?
Both, but I think he was more a heel throughout his career. Like he was a bigger heel.
Got it. Okay.
So he comes out, yes, and like you said, Brad, he gives a very long introduction to Andy Kaufman and what's going on and all of the letters and everything that we know and that's occurred in the past few months and whatever because of that. And he sets up the match. He even shows some footage from the YMCA of women wrestling one another to see who was actually going to get to wrestle Andy Kaufman tonight. And that woman's name, the final woman who gets to do it, is Diana Peckham, who, Ian, I'm going to turn it over to you because you've talked to Diana Peckham. She's been on your podcast. So what did she have to say about this night?
Oh, it was a night to remember. So her father was a United States Olympic professional Greco-Roman wrestler, and she was going to Emerson College, where he was the head of the the phys ed, the AD, he was the AD, and she saw all the stuff that Kaufman was doing, and she knew that she could pin him in a real wrestling match. She would win. So she wrote her letter. She was one of the 4 people in the thing on the YMCA, and she beat one woman, and then another woman beat another woman, and she was in the final match, and she won.
Because that was real, right? The Friday night thing existed. They actually had 4 finalists, and they brought them out, and they actually had kind of a little tournament to get the actual winner.
Televised on PM Magazine, which was like a pre-Entertainment Tonight type show. And then, so yes, that was real. And then when Andy Kaufman was there, and he smacked her, and she wasn't in on this being a joke. Mm-hmm. So she got smacked in the face by this guy. Also, her brother lived in New York, and he went to the thing and said, "Wait a second, this is not the actual rules of wrestling. This is just 4 women, 2 and 2, going after each other and trying to pin each other. This isn't. I'm a professional ref. I'm going to ref it." And of course, the referee was Bob Zamuda. Mm-hmm. So he told his sister, like, "I don't know if this is on the up and up, because I think that's Kaufman's guy reffing the matches." Mm-hmm. So they decided to do it anyway. And
so she thought this was a real match. Like, going into the episode, she thought this was a legit wrestling match.
100% thought it was real. Had some reservations about the Bob Zamuda being the ref. Actually said, "My brother can hire a non-partial ref to ref the match." Said this to Andy Kaufman, and Andy's like, no, we're going to use my guy.
That's okay.
Right.
Yeah, because Kaufman's like, "I don't want to do an actual wrestling match, lady."
Yeah, no, because you'll probably kick my ass.
Yeah.
And part of the deal was that if Andy Kaufman lost, Gary, what would happen?
He would pay her $1,000 and have his head shaved by a barber who is from a local military base. Andy Costanzo would shave his head bald in 30 seconds.
First he says 30 minutes.
He does, yeah.
Yeah,
which I think was really funny.
Yeah.
So the match starts, and he starts slapping her around and doing all the Andy Kaufman stuff. He almost separates her shoulder at one point. And all these moves are illegal in Greco-Roman wrestling, which is what she knows.
Sure.
Yeah. But she's playing along because she's on television. She's not going to stop and start yelling at him. And so that goes on. And then, she doesn't pin him because he does everything he can that's not legal to not get pinned. And then after the segment ends, she's in her dressing room with her parents, and she's engaged, and she's married now for 45 years. So her fiance was there, and Andy goes in and goes, "Wow, wasn't that great television we just did?" And she was not happy about that.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You're an asshole." And basically thought that for the rest, still thinks that.
I can't believe she went into it not knowing it was like a gag, like a joke. That's what I can't believe.
Very nice woman, became a science teacher, and then every year, the day before Christmas, she actually went to Broadway Video, and Broadway Video gave her the tape of the episode, and every year she would show she would show the clip.
That's cool. I mean, it is, I don't know if strange is the word that comes to mind, but I'm kind of confused that she didn't realize that it was a bit.
Know.
Like, to think that it was a legit wrestling match when you saw the way that he wrestled the first woman. But you can also tell,
and then it was going to be on Saturday Night Live.
right? But you can tell from the way that she's wrestling him, like that she knows what she's doing.
Oh,
and
totally.
to your point, Ian, like it does look like he's going to separate her shoulder at one point,
Right.
or maybe a couple points, really, trying to pin her. Yeah, it's intense.
Did you by any chance time this? Because I was wondering if they went longer than 3 minutes, because it is long. Like they milked the hell out of this match.
I think the match was about 3 minutes. I didn't.
Yeah.
But
it just felt long because there's nothing going on.
Well,
You're
because
just watching
the bell rings,
this dude,
and then he's like taking off his robe, and he's taking his time before they actually start wrestling. But the 3 minutes starts with the bell, and then he does his whole thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You mentioned she was on Ian's show. One of the stories Ian I found so interesting is you asked her this. They didn't do this at dress.
Right.
So there was no practice or anything. And she was like in her dressing room the entire time, and they just brought her out for this moment. And and it's just interesting that she was just thrown into it on live television. Like, here you go, wrestle.
She did say that Gilda was a lot of fun. She was very nice and kept track of her a couple of times during the show and at the after party. She said that she was like so nice, as you expect Gilda to be.
That's nice.
Unfortunately, what you were saying, it ran so long that a Mr. Bill Christmas had to be postponed and wound up running on a Dumanian season 6 Christmas episode. But the funny part, Walter Williams, friend of your pod and mine, said that one of the most surreal things he ever heard at Saturday Night Live was Lorne Michaels getting angry at Andy Kaufman right after he walks off stage and says, "You made me cut Mr. Bill." Like he did the worst thing in the world, and unforgivable sin.
Mm-hmm.
And then Andy was asked back for the 100th episode. But in that Lorne way, he didn't get on the show.
I've heard you talk about this, how Andy Kaufman does not return. This is Andy Kaufman's last appearance in the original era. He doesn't come back again until Dick Ebersol.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Lorne was mad. And so was Matt Newman, who also had a sketch that was cut too. It was an advertisement for a clock called the Decade Clock, and it would just say 1970s, and then at the stroke of midnight, it would just say 1980s. And that got cut as well.
We'll have to get one of those and break it for Brad and just leave it in the 70s.
Well, it's funny. I was going to say, when we get to the end credits, they obviously must have Mr. Bill planned, because if you watch the end credits, they credit Mr. Bill by Walter Williams, and it's in the end credits, even though there's no Mr. Bill in the episode. So interesting. And yeah, Walter told us about how they just, without even asking him, they just threw that on next season's Christmas episode.
Yeah. Well, the Christmas episode that didn't get canceled was Bob Hope's Christmas in Tehran. Also with Gary Coleman, among others. Gary Coleman was not the only one at that special.
I laughed at this one still.
Did you?
Still going. Still works.
All right.
Still works.
Does the next one work for you? Your friend Garrett is dressed up as Sammy Davis Jr., dressed up in a Santa costume. And he'll be everywhere this Christmas season. So when you get sick of Sammy Davis Jr. being all over your TV, you can take some Sammy Seltzer Jr. and then he drops some Alka-Seltzer in a glass and drinks it. That's what that was.
It's a parody of an actual commercial that he was doing in 1979 Christmas.
Yeah, he was doing Alka-Seltzer commercials, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he had a serious cocaine addiction.
Garrett or Sammy?
Actually, both.
Both. 1979, baby. I got it in again, Gary. I think the idea is funny, and it was nice to see Garrett get his own piece to carry, but I just don't know if it worked that well, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't think it did really. It just kind of went nowhere, and it felt like Garrett was, I don't know. I didn't really like the impression that much either. It didn't work for me.
I had almost forgotten he'd done this impression, because we've seen it a few times, but we haven't seen it, I think, since season 2, I think, is the last time we saw it. He did it 2 or 3 times the first couple seasons, but it's been a while, and I had completely forgotten he did this.
Yeah. It wasn't as good this time as it was in earlier episodes.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
No. But what is good is Schiller's Reel.
Mm-hmm.
We get Java Junkie, which for a lot of people is their first real introduction to Peter Ackroyd.
Still not credited
I was just
on
going
this
to say,
show yet.
Yeah, still not credited ever. We'll get there eventually. But this is Schiller's Reel. It's Java Junkie, which is a film noir spoof starring Peter Ackroyd, where he plays Joe, who goes into his normal coffee shop after his girlfriend, Betty, is going to breaks up with him. And the lovely waitress, Terry Garr, friend of Tom Schiller's, plays the waitress and just gives him coffee, and he becomes addicted to coffee and can't stop until he gets put into the sanitarium, which is the Maxwell House, or as Peter Ackroyd with his Canadian accent says, Maxwell House.
That was a good line. That was a great line, the Maxwell House.
Yeah. And that is something that Streeter references in the Tom Schiller book, is he was trying to get Peter Ackroyd to say house without his Canadian accent, so it sound more like the 40s film, and he just couldn't do it. He just could not get house out. It's house. But this is a classic Schiller's Reel, Ian. This is one of the all-timers, I think.
Absolutely. And I actually have one of my pieces of memorabilia. This is a cell from Java Junkie. This is like, I'm not trying to just go talk my podcast the whole time, but I had...
You're allowed, Ian. Please talk it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brad only gets mad when other podcasts do that.
I had the director of photography for all of the Tom Schiller reels from 79 to 89, Rick Mischel, on, and he gave me, Neil Marchand, and he gave me a cell of Terry Garr from from that shoot. And what he did is, all those areas are right near his house. All the little places that were shot in Lower Manhattan, I think Dumbo area, and some of them are still there. He also did the famous Phil Hartman Jan Hooks.
Oh, sure.
That's a Citibank right there in his neighborhood. And he showed his mouse pad is a black velvet thing that she put her jewelry on. He started with Don't Look Back in Anger. That was the first one. He was the director of photography.
Oh, he started on that one? Oh, cool. Okay.
And Aviva Slesson was Tom Schiller's assistant, and then she was able to make some films of her own.
Right.
So
nice.
Oh, so we shot all of like the big ones, like Don't Look Back and La Dolce Gilda and Pension to Dream and this one. Yeah. Okay,
and
cool.
And he kept souvenirs from each one.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
This is a great short film, though. It's a great it's not the funniest Schiller's Reel, but, many of them aren't like laugh out loud funny, but it's just a really well done short film. Like you mentioned the cinematographer, Ian, like it's shot so well.
It's gorgeous.
Like a noir-esque short film. It's great.
Yeah, it's all done in black and white. I think Peter Ackroyd is great in this, too.
Very good. Yes.
Just the way he amps it up as, more and more, as he's drinking more and more coffee, and he just gets that like glaze over his eyes as he's sweating. I just think he's so good.
I think this is his best performance on the show. I mean, easily.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all there. Yeah, it's a great vehicle for him. And it's written really well. We mentioned the Maxwell House line, which was funny. There's another great line when he gets out and he says he got decaffeinated after 7 weeks. Like, that was funny. And so, like, the humor's in there and there's funny bits. And, if you're a fan of noir films, it does a good job. It's another, I feel like we say this every other time we do a Schiller film. It's a different type of film genre that he's experimenting in, and he just does a great job on it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I just like the way it's shot in black and white, and just, it really captures the whole film noir feel, which is awesome.
Yeah, I've seen somewhere, forgive me, I can't remember if it says it in the Streeter book or not, but that this may have been an homage, or it's at least got to be inspired by the Billy Wilder film, The Lost Weekend, which is about like an alcoholic, like on a 4-day bender. But I wasn't sure how much that
scene
is.
where he's walking down the street and all the different coffee houses come by.
Yeah.
That is directly from that movie.
Directly. Okay. I was wondering because I don't know the film that well, and I was trying to remember if it was specifically that or just, you know, the genre in general. But I mean, it makes sense. The addict kind of idea.
I mean, honestly, I knew it.
Just truncated into a short film instead of a feature.
Right. Honestly, I just knew that from The Simpsons did that. So.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
I didn't watch from Noir.
And it's the Lost Weekend by Ray Milland is like what he took as the essence of this. And he was spoofing the way that drugs were portrayed in those movies, like marijuana was portrayed in those movies in the 40s and 50s. As
sure.
well. Yeah. This film actually he submitted to a bunch of film festivals, and it was selected for the National Endowment of the Arts Short Film Showcase. And then it was screened alongside Eraserhead.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great short film. It's a great short film.
Yeah. It's really good. It's Schiller. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
After Schiller, we go to a house that is just totally over-decorated for Christmas. And Bill and Jane are the parents, and Lorraine and Gilda are their daughters, and they're complaining because Jane's father has come and has decorated their house, and there's loud music playing and too many lights, and finally Ted Knight comes in as the grandfather, as the father, with these blow up Santa Clauses, I think they were, for the girls to blow up to put in the yard, and he's just going all out. Eventually, we see Garrett and two other people. I guess Peter Ackroyd actually is one of those people who comes in as a performer. They're out on the lawn in a live nativity scene.
Yeah. Al comes in before then with a snowman.
That's what
and he's like, this is our deluxe snowman you ordered. And Ted Knight gets upset. He's like, that's not deluxe. And he's like, we want it 5 times as big and bigger and grander. So that's when you see Al Franken. He leaves, and then the nativity people come in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Garrett wants his overtime.
Yeah.
We're on overtime.
Yeah. He said that like 3 times as Ted Knight's closing the door on him. Yeah. Again, this is another one where I thought Ted Knight was really good, and he brought a lot of energy to the bit, and it wasn't too, I don't know, crazy or anything, but it was just a lot of fun and kind of over the top, and I thought he sold it.
Yeah, this is something that my mom would call cute. It's nice. It's a fun. It's not a slice of. I wouldn't say it's a slice of life. It's just a guy who loves decorating, and he thinks that's the only way he'll get to see his grandchildren.
Right, because we learned that he only comes once a year, and this is what he does every year. He over decorates everything. And then they say, we'd like to see you more often. And then he lays into, and this is the joke at the end, we can do this for Columbus Day. We'll get the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. And my favorite line in the whole thing was, he's like, and Halloween, we'll get Bela Lugosi. We'll dig up Bela Lugosi.
Yeah. His delivery is great.
Yeah.
He's very good. He's very good in this. I agree. I wanted to like this sketch because it was just so absurd, and I don't have a good reason. I just couldn't. I don't know why. I never bought into this sketch.
Well, I tell you why
I don't have a good reason why.
Didn't?
Sure. Yeah, please.
Honestly, I felt like Ted Knight and Jane were the only ones who sold it, and the others, it just kind of felt like they were going through the motions.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of Bill's role was kind of to be that guy to like say the line to get you to the next point. Like he was very perfunctory. He didn't have a lot to do other than that. I get, because it's all Jane and her dad, but I agree. And I liked it. Like you mentioned, as soon as they fade in, I was like, great set. Yeah. Amazing set. It's just so over decorated and so well done. I just couldn't, something about it, I just couldn't buy into it. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a fun. Ian, you had a good point. Cute. It's a cute. Like, it was fun. Enjoyed it. Sure.
I liked it. I just liked Ted Knight. I think really sold me on everything for it. or
It gave him a sketch to shine.
Yeah.
He kind of plays backseat a lot of the night, and this was probably his best, most front forward, aside from the cop bit that you didn't like, Gary.
No, I
for him
liked
to,
the cop bit.
Take center stage.
Yeah, he was overzealous Ted Knight, which is the best Ted Knight.
Yeah, it was great.
It's very much that kind of in that vein of his Mary Tyler Moore character, like he doesn't realize what he doesn't know or the buffoon that he is. He doesn't. So that's where your humor should be coming from.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Sadly, that's our last live sketch of the night. We get another Gary Coleman runner. Gary Coleman in Iran, the country and the crisis.
I didn't love this one.
No.
My least favorite of the runners, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, and then Ted Knight still wants nothing to do with Desmond Child and Rouge, so he doesn't introduce them the last time either. He makes Don Pardo do it. And they come on and sing Goodbye, Baby. This is the one where I took more notice of G.E. Smith than anything else.
Goddamn G.E. Smith. Great soul. He had 2 good solos.
He did. And he was.
Why do you hate G.E. Smith?
I think it's his face. The face he makes when he plays guitar.
He's into it, man. He's a musician. I will say this is a better song choice for this band. They are much better with the women up front and Desmond Child behind a keyboard.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed.
It's a better overall performance.
But G.E. Smith still stole the show.
I was trying to figure out.
G.E. Smith, if you're listening, call us. We'll have you on.
When did G.E. Smith get married to Gilda?
April.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
right before
Of 80.
this.
Yeah.
Right after this.
It's
yeah.
very soon.
Yeah. But that's it. That's our episode. We go to goodnights. Ted Knight says good night to his wife and children. And everyone's
He had a good
there.
time.
Yeah.
He seemed excited.
Again, I feel like Ted Knight had a really good time doing this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he did a really good job with what he was given.
Yes.
I agree. Not a bad episode. They lean into Christmas, which they do a lot this season. Some fun things, but nothing really amazing. Nothing classic. I feel like this episode is known more for like the infamous things. Andy Kaufman wrestling and the Nativity censors battle than the actual sketches.
Yeah, I think Java Junkie's the standout.
I mean, I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the episode. It's hard, much like B. Arthur, it's hard to not like Ted Knight. He's just so good.
Yeah, and as much as I like Andy Kaufman, I really wish that they didn't have him on Ted Knight's episode. I would rather give Ted Knight more material to play with than having that Andy Kaufman sketch here. But
I would have also taken the Mr. Bill Christmas short that was originally supposed to be on, for the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
But, they're not all going to be great. People like to yell at us, Gary, because we're so negative. But I think this is a very good middle of the road episode. You're going to have those kind of, right in the middle. I think this is a really good one. It's what it was. It was fine. I think over time, it's rather forgettable. People wouldn't think to go back and watch this one. But if you were to catch it, you'd enjoy it.
yeah, I mean, I think this one still is in the upper half of this season so far.
Yes.
I mean, this is only episode 8, but it's definitely in the upper
That's true.
tier.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, Ian, what are your best bits?
I would have to say Java Junkie and Andy Kaufman. I love Andy Kaufman.
Wow.
Really? You throw Andy Kaufman wrestling in there for best bits?
I love Andy Kaufman. He's great.
All right.
Yeah, I love Andy Kaufman too. Just give me more Ted Knight. Brad, what are your best bits?
Java Junkie is my only one. And your impression of late Ted Knight, which we haven't heard yet.
Monroe.
There it is. 2 for 2, baby.
I had Java Junkie. I also had Bob Cop, just Ted Knight 2 camera. I thought that was fun. It was short. It was funny. It was something different. So I had that as a best bit.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Ian, thank you again for joining us. What's going on Ian Talks Comedy?
Well, when this one comes out, I think my guest will be Randall Carver, who, if you're a fan of the TV series Taxi, you'll know he was John Burns in the first season. He also was in 2 Academy Award-winning films, There Will Be Blood and Midnight Cowboy.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And then I have a couple other people lined up. Christopher Atkins and Charles Floyd Johnson, the first African-American executive producer of a drama. He was the executive producer of The Rockford Files.
Nice. It's a good lineup you got, Ian.
Thank you.
Sounds like fun. Thanks again for joining us.
Yes, thank you as always. And, for always backing us and supporting us. It does mean a lot.
Yeah. Next week, we have to talk about season 5, episode 9 with host Terry Garr. And Brad, this is another amazing musical performance in my mind. One of the best.
Mm-hmm.
The B-52s.
All right.
It's great. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it. Until then, good night.
Are they going to play Love Shack?
Oh. Your lack of knowledge of the B-52's catalog,
You
Brad.
look so pissed right now after that comment.
You confuse my disappointment with my anger.
1970s, we'll miss you.
Oh, that's right. Brad, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we have to say this. Because Dom Pardo at the end of the show says SNL will return in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And so will we. Good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Good.
Ian, can you call G.E. Smith for us, please?
No, but I could call Patrick Weathers.
I think it would be funnier if Ian were just like, yeah, hold on. Hey, G.E. And G.E. Smith walks in from the other room.
It was like when Liberace was the guest ring announcer on WrestleMania 1. That's what they did.
Liberace was the best.
Back then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.